Me and my 1-year-old son has to go to a hotel room tonight, and the hotel room costs $400, and I only have $200. I'm hustling up $200 by selling breakfast plates that I've been making all morning to everyone in my apartment complex. I called my baby dad for the last $200, and he cursed me out because I beat his sister up 2 days ago. So now I don't know where me and my son are going to sleep at tonight, and it's cold outside. And it's almost Christmas. I tried my best to keep going to work to make sure I could pay my rent and make sure we had a roof over our head. But unfortunately, my car broke down and I couldn't keep making the money in order to pay my rent. So that's why we end up in this situation. I'm hoping I can make some good soul food plates to sell for dinner tonight in my apartment complex, because by tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, the sheriffs will be at our door asking for us to leave. So I'm trying to get the money for the hotel tonight. I'm hoping I can make the money in time. I'm not a chef, but I'm doing the best I can do for my son. Me and my 1-year-old son.
Oh no. Because so many things, you got to be really paying attention. But ultimately, here's the thing, right? She's about to get evicted. Ironically, she said that the sheriffs are going to be knocking on her door. But yet, she mentioned that she went to her baby father for $200, but he said no because she beat his sister up. You're a single mom and you're out here beating people up. Let's just take this all the way down the path. You beat her up. Then she calls the police. The police come and get you. Now who's going to have your kids? I'm guessing your kids would have just stayed where, with the father and his sister, I guess. But what if he got work? Y'all, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second and it actually does help out tremendously. So if you could do that, I would greatly appreciate it. But let's go ahead and get into the next clip.
I live in a storage unit because it's cheap in comparison to an apartment. Living here is actually really comfortable. I get a lot of things that I need and want to get done here. I can exercise. I can use the bathroom. I can play music anywhere in the unit. It's climate controlled in here, so it's nice and warm. This unit is 24 hours, so I can come here anytime I want, stay here as long as I need to. We can take naps if we need to and go to sleep. So this is our living space. Very, very grateful to have this space. The next goal is to get an RV. The next goal after that, tiny home. And if we want to eat, I just cook right out front. Or we'll just prepare something cold inside of the unit. Sandwiches. A lot of times we make salad. If we want to get power, we use our power bank. They also have power here so we can charge our power bank. Me and my baby will live here as long as we need to until we get the shelter that we want. Because we're living here, now we can save up more money to get what we really want. We're in it for the long haul. Thank you for the support. Thanks for...
I had court today, and the case was regarding a unlawful detainer. And if you don't know what that means, is I've been evicted from my apartment. So I promised myself that I was going to post more on here to follow my journeys with life and certain decisions that I've made. I haven't really been doing that because I've been going through some things, and it's crazy because it's like, maybe I do need to put it out there. Maybe.
I'm sorry, I was distracted. Did she just go and then cue the sad music? That's crazy.
If I do, it'll help somebody not do the same mistakes that I've done, right? So if you saw my previous videos, I was posting about new life-changing journeys that I'm going through. I moved into this apartment in August. I was excited about it, but today was a tough day. I never thought this was going to happen to me. I've never been in this situation. So it's really hard for me to share that I had court today, and the case was regarding a unlawful detainer. And if you don't know what that means, is I've been evicted from my apartment.
Why?
Sorry, I promised myself I would never do one of those crying video posts, and I'm really trying hard here. I don't even know if I have any tears left in me. To be honest, I cried them all out today. But yeah, the apartment complex where I live is a corporate one. Today I learned and convinced myself how the corporate world just really grows, makes money out of those who are struggling. And I'm not blaming them on any means. I don't think there was any foul play or anything. It's hard for me to explain, but we're all human, and it was an honest mistake. And like I shared before, I'm a single mom, and I'm trying to start my business. Long story short, I had shared before that I had a previous job. I was there for 24 years, and I was earning a nice 6-figure salary, and I was able to give my kids a comfortable life. And things changed, and I had a moment where I had to decide between my mental health or the salary that I was making. And I chose myself. I chose my mental health. And anybody who I would tell would be like, "You're crazy. Like, you're never going to get that money anywhere else." And I'm very aware about that. But I did choose myself so that I can be there for my daughter.
We still have a good amount left to go. But she sure is going a roundabout way to just basically say she didn't feel like working no more. Ma'am, when you have a child and then she's using it to try to garner sympathy of like, I'm a single mother, so feel bad for me. But why didn't you care about that when you decided to quit your job? So what are you doing now? And I wouldn't be surprised if her kid is like at the age where they go to school anyway. So what are you doing all day? Ultimately, she's saying she chose her mental health. No, when you have a child, you don't get to choose your mental health and quit your job and not have another job lined up. It's really just that simple. But see, she wanted a break. Everybody wants a break. Everybody wants a period where they can go a couple months and not work. Wouldn't that be great? But see, if you don't got kids, maybe you can do it. But if you got kids, that's not an option. You don't get to do that. That's the price you paid when you decided to be responsible for someone else. And now she's getting evicted. Ain't that crazy?
And also so that I can teach her, that money is not all that. It's what's inside. But every time I try to prove something like that, I get pulled back down. And this is especially for us single moms, that we just try, and sometimes we just feel that no matter what we do, we just can't seem to get past that certain, point in our lives. But to not get into too much detail, what happened is because I had resigned from my 6-figure salary.
When it comes to her side of what she did, she didn't have no problem talking about the corporation and how they do her wrong. But then she's saying to not get too much into what my side. Really?
And try to, start my business. The business alone wasn't going to be enough. So I took a job at Target. That wasn't enough because it was a seasonal job, and then they had me stay, but as an on-demand, team member. So my hours were not consistent. My clients were not consistent. So I had to take on a third job, which is Uber Eats, and I deliver whenever I'm available, whenever I don't have clients, or whenever I'm not scheduled at Target. Now, with that being said, I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying that sometimes it is a harsh world out there, right? So because I didn't have a regular income, like a structured paycheck, when the rent was due for January, I knew that I was going to get paid on the 9th. My mistake was not calling the office to let them know ahead of time. And instead, when I got home on January 5th, they posted the pay rent or quit notice. I had 3 days. I was confused on to when was the deadline, but I figured, okay, it's the 8th. But I was like, it's fine, I'll just pay it. On the 8th, I got home from work at 11:30 p.m. The next day, on the 9th, I took my daughter to school, got back home, made my coffee, got on my laptop, and I go to pay the rent, and I'm locked out. So right away, I go downstairs, and I'm like, hey, I'm trying to pay the rent, and they're like, sorry, like, the notice expired. I'm like, okay. He's like, so yeah.
People is not playing no more. We not playing no more. Y'all keep playing these games. So she done quit a 6-figure job to go be a Target associate and do Uber Eats and start her business or whatever. It's funny, she considered that 3 jobs. Her trying to start her business. You don't get to quit your job for your business until it's paying a livable wage and able to replace your job. Uber Eats, DoorDash, that's not a job to me. You get to show up whenever you want. See, the standard for me of a real job is if you want to say you got 3 jobs, I'm going to expect you got 3 different places you got to be at a specific time. And you're held to that. And there's some accountability. Not you just get to roll up out of bed whenever you want and go drive around. Now, she's trying to start a business, but she didn't make sure that her business could sustain. I wouldn't be surprised if when she's saying her business, she's referring to TikTok because she said she wanted to be posting more. Ultimately, even if she's not, she wanted to be on TikTok and she wants to just be able to do whatever she wants to do ultimately and not be held to nothing and not be accountable to nothing. And this could give insight into why she may be a single mother because she don't want to listen to nothing. Because had there been a man in this situation, or I'll just use myself for example, I would have, as soon as she would have came to me with that, oh, I want to quit my 6-figure job and I just want to focus on the business. What's the business doing? You'd have been accountable. No, you don't just get to do that. That doesn't make sense for us. And she probably wouldn't have liked that.
You're going to have to pay legal fees now, which is $675. I had never heard of anything like that in my life. And I've been in other like luxury apartments, in Encino and here even. And I've only been late with my rent twice in my whole life. And when that happened, the leasing officer, like, that's fine. You're just going to get charged a late fee. Just give us a cashier's check and we're good. That was it. And I apologized, and of course. But here, he wouldn't take it. He wouldn't take my rent unless I included those extra $675 that they said I owed in legal fees. So I was so confused. Long story short, something didn't sit right with me, so I tried to fight it. And that happened in January, and court was today.
She tried to fight it.
And I lost.
Oh my goodness.
And now I have to pay legal fees, attorney fees, court fees.
You still got to pay them.
And I was told that
and you get evicted.
Come and post a note, and we're going to have to vacate in 5 days. And I don't know how I'm going to do that. And it sucks. It sucks because I really loved my apartment. And so did my daughter, and so did my son. But to my single moms out there, don't ignore those posts. I mean, when I went in there, I had my evidence. Like, I had my, video recording of him refusing my payment the next day. I just didn't think that it was so technical. I had a moment to talk to the judge, and I'm like, Your Honor.
She's so misguided. Silly. She's just silly. Ma'am. You know what's crazy? She's talking about the corporations and all this, and they actually tried to be fair with her. Here's what I mean by that. When they already filed the notice, they can't take any money from you. Otherwise, it will void the court process and they'll have to start all over again. They've already paid to start this. So now all they're asking you for is, okay, we had to pay somebody to put this through. If you're going to get caught up, you still have to pay the attorney fees as well and offset that. And then we're square. She decided she was going to try to fight it, not realizing she's bringing proof. Oh, I tried to pay it, not knowing that, yeah, the law says they can't accept the payments once they've already filed the court proceedings. She thought that was evidence. And it ended up blowing up in her face. And now I bet they definitely don't want to work with you because they actually, in good faith, tried to help you. She don't even realize that they really were trying to look out for her. They just wanted back what they spent.
It's not like if I neglected to pay the rent. Like I didn't. Like it was just I got home from Target at 11:30 p.m. Like I didn't have the energy. I was just so tired. I had the energy to log in and do any of that. And they don't care. They don't care. They don't care that you're a single mom. The case before me, bless her heart. I'm an empath, so I feel everybody's pain. Her mother died November 30th. She called the office saying, hey, I gotta go out of town. I'm gonna be late on my rent December 15th. Long story short, she came back and she had the notice. She was also blocked. And she also lost the case. So I'm just gonna end it with this.
Birds of
I'm
a
still gonna
feather.
keep my head up. And I am gonna post it. And I am gonna share it. And even though it hurts, I know we're gonna get through this because God has never left me with anything that I've been through in life. I feel like the evil one wants me to think that God has abandoned me, but no. I know it's just a little push and a little shove.
I think she was listening to the evil one when she quit her job.
But
When she quit her job, I think she was listening to the evil one then. She was leaning on her understanding what she wanted to do. Y'all, we're going to leave it there for today. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second and it actually does help out tremendously. Also, if you could hype the video, hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it basically helps smaller content creators like myself. And when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and then it shows you the points. And since I am a smaller content creator, we actually get more points. And then Patreon's link below if you want to see self-improvement content. But until then, I'll catch you in the next video.